Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mind Your Business Show. I am your host, Milt Walker, joined today by the whole Private Money Syndicate team. But Tony Calloway, the Private Money Godfather, how are you today, sir?
Hey, Maestro, I'm doing fantastic. Hey, everybody, it's another beautiful, beautiful day here in Columbus, Georgia. And you know what makes it even more beautiful to me is these beautiful people that we work together to bring you the Private Money Syndicate, the Private Money Advisors. And so I want to say, Maestro, thanks for getting us on the air. And I want to say to the Queen B, Versandra Kennebrew, how you doing this morning? Hey.
I am great, Tony. I'm happy to be here with the rest of the syndicate and just super excited about what we are going to share today with our audience that is tuning in from all around the world, even the world of social media.
Awesome, awesome. And that's your thing. And I always love Sandra's smile, and her energy is infectious. And this morning, in addition to the Queen and the Maestro, we got the Duke. Yes, indeed. Darnell Collins. What's going on, my brother, up there in Detroit?
I'm doing well, Tony. It's so wonderful to be in the midst of greatness with the team, with the Private Money Syndicate. Man, it's just fantastic. Another opportunity just to bring visions to pass, dreams to pass.
Fantastic. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all being here, and we're going to get on into it today because we want to share a story with you. Our topic today is how dreams become profits. Now, what we do here at the Private Money Syndicate, we say we power dreams with private money, but the money is not the only part of our process. So we had a previous show where we talked about how the Private Money Syndicate works, but we're actually going to give you a case study that helps you to see how we take a client, we take their dream, take them from where they are when they come to us, and we wrap all of the resources that you will be presented with today to actually turn their dream into a profit, to get that business up and running and profitable. So I want you to really take notes. And again, if you got questions, put those in the chat. We'll do our best to address all those. We're going to be a little more concise today and not necessarily do all of our acknowledgments and shout outs, because we really want this message to become clear as we go into our 10,000 Dreams challenge. We really want to start having you guys tell us your dreams, because many of you have been sitting with dreams in your heart for years because you didn't know we existed. But here we are this morning to help you to just bring it to light so you can see how all of this works. So Maestro, if you are able to bring up the presentation, I want to launch into that and just use that as a framework. Now, one thing all of you can do is, if you want to get a copy of this sent to you, please just put your email address into the chat, and we'll make sure to get this sent out so that you can actually have a copy of this for yourself. But we need to go to the first slide there, Maestro. And we'll be back with it. All right, here we go. All right. How dreams become profit, profile of a business launch. All right. Now, again, a business launch is just like a rocket launch. You got to get it on the launch pad. You got to light the candle and let the sucker head off to the sky. So our first slide that we're going to discuss real quick is when it comes up. All right, here we go. All right, now we have our client, Mike. All right, so, and Mike, his name is being not disclosed to protect his identity. But like so many people, he had a business dream. Now, his dream was that he wanted to sell some custom designed sunglasses. Now, the reason he wanted to do sunglasses is because they're a high margin product. He didn't have a real closely, or he had a loosely defined idea about how he was going to, develop the idea and take it to the marketplace. He didn't have a website. But no, the key thing was that when we look at this situation, like so many people, he had a dream, but he didn't have a product. And he didn't have a revenue model. His credit score was okay. All right. And he had about $1,500 in the bank. Now, for most people, that would be a dream deferred. Okay. That was a poem by Langston Hughes, if you ever had a chance to read it. But now we're going to bring his dream from deferred in the present, because he teamed up with the Private Money Syndicate, Darnell, Versandra, Milt, and myself, and we were able to bring him from where he was into where he wanted to be with his dream development. So go to the next one for me, Maestro. All right, so the financing was done on my part. Now, Darnell does most of the heavy lifting in this scenario with the branding, the design, manufacturing, and distribution. This brother is amazing. That's why we call him the Duke. All right. Now, Versandra, with all of her exuberance and energy, she is able to turn Mike into a social media influencer. That's one of these people, I think they have, 100,000 followers or something like that. Versandra will talk about that for a second. And you can reach the whole world through the World Wide Web, and that's the maestro's job, to help Mike get his website developed. So on the next one, we look at how we work through the process with him. Advance that for me. All right, so here's a story. All right, he wanted to have his luxury custom designer brand. Now, you know, you've seen the Ray-Bans and all these different kinds, but Mike wanted some that was going to appeal to the millennial aspiring athlete marketplace. I mean, most millennials are at that age now where they're exercising, they want to look cool while they're doing it. So he wanted to come up with his own brand of fashion eyewear to do that. So he scheduled a consultation. We got his credit score up to where we could get him a $100,000 credit line, and he used that funding to put all these other mechanisms in place as far as his design, the social media marketing, the e-commerce website, and the working capital that he needed to get his business in full operational status. All right, so on the next one, we look at how the dream became profit. Now, there's a lot of numbers here, so let me walk through it quickly. Of his $1,500, he invested $1,000 to get his credit score up to $700. Okay, and we were able to do that in a very short period of time, to where, in the course of that, we were able to get him a $100,000 credit line. Now, there's a lender fee associated with that, and we'll discuss a little bit later how the payments on that credit line were 2.5% of the outstanding balance. Now, Darnell and Versandra's consultations to help develop the brand, the social media, the manufacturing, everything was $5,000 for each of those. And Milt's going to talk about developing the e-commerce website. It was about a $10,000 investment. After everything was assessed, it was going to take him roughly $50,000 for him to have 1,000 units of his sunglasses made at $50 each. Now, the $50 paid for the production, it paid for the packaging, it paid for the shipping. So breaking it down per pair of glasses, that was $50 times 1,000. So he invested $50,000 in the inventory. And then in the course of the year, he made another second order, but still he was just recycling money at that point. So if you add all of that up, it comes to $80,000. Now, remember, he didn't have $80,000. We got him qualified for a credit line, so that now he controlled $80,000. Now, he doesn't have any revenue coming in yet. So a lot of people say, how's he going to run his business? Well, because he had more money left on his credit line, that $2,000 a month, which was the monthly payments, and we just amortized that over a whole year. That was a total of $24,000 that he needed in working capital to run his business. So now we're going to go to the next slide for me, Milt. And so we walk this through, and to get to the bottom line, when we look at the cost structure of everything and then take that with the revenue, if he was selling those glasses for $100 each and it cost him $50 in cost, that means he made $50 in profit. He sold through 2 orders, a blockbuster hit. Versandra did an awesome job. I mean, this guy was the shizzle as far as everybody wanted to wear his stuff. So he sold over 2,000 pair. So 2,000 at $50 means he made $100,000 in gross profit. Now, after you take out the $80,000, that was you don't take out $80,000 because that was the investment in capital in the business. Now, see, this is where most people would say, well, why don't you take the $80,000 out? Because that wasn't his money. He controlled $80,000. He only has to pay $2,000 a month for controlling that capital. So his only cost was the $24,000. That's what you need to understand about why businesses work with other people's money. So he had a profit of $76,000 because if you take the $24,000 out of the $100,000, which was his gross revenue, that's his profit, $76,000. Now he might take some of that over time and pay down that balance. But the fact of the matter is he started with $1,000, got his credit right. He borrowed $100,000 on a credit line, got the resources of the Private Money Syndicate behind him to get everything he needed to launch his product. And here he is in 1 year with $76,000 in the bottom line. Now we're going to save the next slide for the grand finale, but I see Darnell shaking his head. So what I want to do for you, our viewers, is I want these experts to collaborate, and I want them to tell you how they were able to consult with and work with Mike. Because my job is done. I got the brother the money. Okay, but the money's not all he needs. He needs expertise in the area of manufacturing, design, and distribution. He needs expertise in developing his social media marketing. He needed also expertise in developing his e-commerce website. And that's what you're looking at with this team and how we take a dream and turn it into a profit. So Darnell and Versandra, we'll start with Darnell. When I brought Mike to you, Darnell, what were some of the early things you did to help him to understand how you're able to support him in designing a product and getting that product into manufacturing and production?
Well, even before working with Mike, I'm like looking at the order of how Private Money Syndicate works. I'm like, Mike, you can sit down, man. I need to work out my product first, and then we can work with you. I mean, that's how awesome this platform is. In all seriousness, Tony, I mean, reference to the case study with Mike, one of the first things in order that I'm going to do with him or any other client is to bring about a product assessment through our our sample development process. So I'm going to find out exactly in that sunglass model and understand who his avatar is. I'm going to look at the model. I'm going to look at the audience, the captive audience in which he's selling his product to. So it's athletic based. So I'm going to look at a product like Oakley. Oakley is an outstanding line of sunglasses, and also Ray-Ban too. You had mentioned Ray-Ban a little bit ago, but Oakley really is the epicenter of what we want to do in creating a product assessment. So we create the product assessment, find out exactly in the consultation from Mike, and then I create a storyboard. And then from that storyboard, I'm going to create an actual physical prototype, proof of concept, something that he can see. That's going to start from a flat sketch to a digital mock-up, and then to the physical prototype, proof of concept, and then the actual sample itself. So he's trying it on. He's seeing the materials. He's seeing the gradation in the lenses, the frame of the temples, everything that brings about the physical manifestation of the sunglasses itself. And now we have a product for him, so he can blow up on the internet and have an incredible product that he can sell to his avatar successfully.
Right. Now, I think you got some examples of some of your products that you can ask the
Yes.
to bring up for our viewers, just to see how this creative genius right here is able to take someone's idea. Remember, ideas are thoughts turned into words that are conveyed to another person, and to be able to manifest that into physical products. So share some of the examples of some of the products that you designed for others and for your own lines.
So now we got the gold full frame, gold full gray product design up here.
Yes. Yeah. So in all these that we're going to see now, it's just actual examples of product that's already in the marketplace that's incredibly successful from brands like Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, Fendi, Givenchy, YSL, Chanel, Tom Ford. So we're looking at Mike, we get the product assessment, we create the storyboard and find out exactly what he wants the physical product to be like. So as you can see, as we go through these products and some of the designs that I created in reference to a physical sunglass, you notice that I used in the left, I believe it's the left upper corner of the lens on each of these examples, we used the three diamond logo for Private Money Syndicate. So we're going to even craft in the product assessment and figuring out a storyboard for Mike what his logo is going to be. And we're going to clearly designate it on the lens where it's clearly identifiable, right? So it's without question his logo, its insignia, it's his product. It's his product that he owns. It's private labeled, it's white labeled, it's his brand that we make clear and defined exclusively for him.
Well, leave those up. And now let's bring Versandra into the conversation. So now, Versandra, with all that Darnell just shared, as you're looking at Mike as becoming a celebrity, creating celebrity around his theme, what are some of the things from the social media marketing and development that you would be consulting with Mike on?
Yes, thank you so much, Tony. Darnell and I would definitely be spending a lot of time together because we are sharing content. Because as Darnell creates these mock-ups and he creates a logo and everything that is going to be suitable for Mike to put out there into the world and introduce himself, then I would be able to help him take those items and put them out in social media. The first thing that we would do is, of course, sit down and have a consultation because we want to know who, what, when, where, and why. You know, the why is so very important when you are really looking to accomplish something. I know that he has one why is that he wants to pay back this loan. He wants to make some money so that he don't have nobody coming after him to get his money back. That's
Good
one
business.
why. But that is not enough. That is not enough to keep him on his grind 8 hours a day, at least 5 days a week to get this product sold. So we want to really understand what is it that makes him want to be first an entrepreneur and why sunglasses. The first thing that came to my mind as I thought about this whole concept, I wear my sunglasses at night so I can see. And so I thought about that and I said, oh my God, we need to make sure that Mike has somewhat of a jingle or a theme, something that really captures people's imagination and draws them in. So we would come up with something like that if we could find a way to either use that song by somehow paying a slight fee or something to be able to access it, royalties, something that we would do, but we would tie that into the content that's going out on social media. I would definitely help Mike to determine which social media sites are best for his product. You know, we all know Facebook. Facebook, that's where we are right now, and it's a wonderful source. But as you talked about, Mike being wanting to be an influencer and also wanting to work with the millennial audience, then we want to move him out of Facebook and onto platforms that are more suited for millennials. Say, for instance, IG.
Okay.
Everybody know Instagram is all about photos, videos, images, but it's a great source for people to tie in the part where the e-commerce part, and you can see the image, click and pay and order right then on the spot. So IG would be a great place for him to be. We would love for him to have a presence on YouTube because he can hang out with all his millennial partners who also wear shades, and they can do all kinds of video, short video clips where they're just cool no matter where they are. If it's at night, if it's at daytime, if it's out, in the club doing his thing, at a restaurant, out hanging out on the river walk. We want to make this a lifestyle thing and live it out loud on social media so everybody will say, I want to be like Mike.
Yeah.
Got to be. Hey,
yes.
Now
and
I want
to say another place just before I pass it back to you. Pinterest is another platform for selling sunglasses because Pinterest is all about pictures as well. It's almost like you can have a catalog with all of the sunglasses with links to purchase. And so we use these products and his dyadic ties. I use that a lot so that we can get it out into the world and so that sales can happen while he's sleeping and while he's getting back out there in his 8 hours to be on his grind. Back to you, Tony.
That is awesome. Now I want to come back to Darnell because we talked about the design, the branding, which is a combination of coming up with a concept, the storyboard, as Darnell said, and then projecting value into the marketplace. And Versandra does an awesome job. That's why y'all guys are looking at me today, because of the great work that she does. But now this is where most people don't have a clue where to start creating a physical product. And I got to go back to Darnell because he has the capacity to manufacture and distribute worldwide. So Darnell, in a short burst, help to understand how you can now, with the design having been assessed, go into the actual production process and then into distribution of the products that Mike is bringing to the marketplace as sunglasses?
So the ultimate goal is to really it's a twofold situation. After the product has been approved by Mike, after we've done the consultation, the storyboards have been done, the proof of concept, the prototype, and then the actual sample, and it's perfectly in the realm, it's perfectly in the design space in which he wants his sunglass brand to be. The first thing that I really like to concentrate on is synonymous, making synonymous his brand, like Versandra said, a lifestyle brand, because lifestyle brands really penetrate really the lives of people that are going to eventually wear the product. Right. So Ralph Lauren has been a master with that. He has over 60 licenses that are all lifestyle brands that really fit into every aspect of his customer, of his avatar's life. So creating the essence of this lifestyle brand will be a part of the customer's life, in that being a lifestyle brand first. Okay, so we solidify it as a lifestyle brand. Then through those mediums that Versandra talked about, which are incredibly important. Then from the distribution, we're going to look literally as from the catalyst part of the distribution, those platforms that Versandra talked about. Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube are going to literally be virtual distribution channels to get the message out, the product message, the brand message. Okay, and then if they're interested in retail channels, whether it be Walmart, whether it be Target, whether it be any of the other awesome big brand or big box retailers, there are strategies. There are strategies that I will really communicate specifically with Versandra to the client, Mike, in reference to finding out exactly if that's what he wants to do. Or another channel would be, if I can say this really quickly, it would be a DTC, direct to consumer, from his specific website. Okay, and that's when Milt, the maestro, comes into play. Yes. So really, in all the data, all the research, all the analysis that I've dealt literally with my clients in the past, the DTC platform is the most profitable, the most lucrative, and the most powerful. He's able to control, the client is able to control that platform better than having product in Walmart, having product in Target. Those are wonderful retail channels, but the most profitable and most lucrative channel that he can own really is the platform of his own website. Exactly. Right? The direct to consumer. It's the highest percentage, it's the highest return in margins for that particular channel, platform, and presentation of his lifestyle brand.
And to the point that I made, that most people don't know where to even start to get something made. Now, you've got manufacturing facilities overseas, yes, and I know you're going to be spinning up one in Atlanta here soon. But the fact of the matter is, folks, that you don't have to, all you have to do is know us. You have to know the Private Money Syndicate advisors. We know all the solutions to every obstacle, every impediment, every unknown, so that we were able to take this idea into the marketplace. And Darnell just made the comment, direct to consumer, and we're about to go to the maestro here to talk about how he develops the e-commerce platform. And Versandra talked about a click on any of these social media platforms puts that person in the queue to actually buy the product and have it shipped directly to the consumer. That's where you get 50% margins. Okay.
That's right.
And because you created the image, the value, the ego or emotional expectation through the social media marketing, people want to pay for these custom design or luxury sunglasses that Darnell was able to develop out of Mike's idea. So now, Milt, how about talking to our audience and tell them how what you do and your amazing ability to create e-commerce websites and support those, it makes it where all of this is automated. All these things are handled for Mike, all at the click of a button in the World Wide Web.
Yeah, and it's a great thing to show how all of these processes kind of tie in together, right? Because as you know, as Mike's working with Darnell and Versandra, all of the content, all of the logos, all of the graphics, all of these things that you would need. That's the ideal customer for, a web designer such as myself, to take on. You've already created all of that. So you already have that in a very nice, neat package. You got your logos ready. You got your content. So what we do is we translate all of that into a design for your e-commerce site that speaks to your customer, to your audience, right? You've already started to grow your influence on social media, right? And so as we're developing this site together, of course, we're always collaborating as a team throughout the whole vertical, right? Throughout everyone, all the way back to you, Tony. And as it's developed, then we're starting to tie in all of these aspects from the social media, right? Not just because what a lot of people think, they just have a link on the website that sends them to their social media, right? But now you can, and as you spoke to Tony, you can automate the process of selling items through Facebook, through a lot of these, through IG. You can create an IG shop, right? That actually directly connects to your website, and all of that stuff is automated. So now you've created this whole ecosystem that will create the funnel that you need for anyone who sees your products and wants to check it out, whether they want to go to the website, whether they want to go through social media, mobile, desktop, any platform that they may be, visiting on, they'll have access to your product. And as Mike comes to find out, is that it's a lot less headache for him, because those processes are all automated, even down to the shipping, right? So all of that information gets spent and sent through his whole ecosystem that is actually created and tied in through Darnell, Versandra, and yourself, and all of that information. And it's part of just information intelligence, right? Knowing how the process and the flow of this information is supposed to go, and it's such a beautiful thing to have all of these experts and all of us being able to work together through platforms, just like with the Google Meet that we're using right now. Right. Now, whether you're having product meetings and all of these different things, being able to take this technology and facilitate your business, right? Because as we're sitting here talking to each other, we can be talking to Mike, right? And we could be showing these same product, photos and images and slideshows, and having this conversation and collaborating together, right? This is where we are now in the information technology age. It's the age of collaboration. So you have to understand the power of knowing that you have a whole team that's working with you and is ready to help your business to elevate to the next level. And for me personally, I'm going to look at a lot of the things that takes precedence when it comes to your website, whether it's your SEO, right? Your search engine optimization, right? Making sure that all of the elements of your website are present, that when the search engine looks at it and someone's looking for something that you have, the search engine knows to point them to that particular website, right? And not just that, because a lot of people advertise on their sites, right? They advertise, and that makes them money. So in order for them to reach the customer, they're going to pull ads from you, right? And they're going to put it on their website so that they know that they can buy it from you, which is also going to make the other people money. See, there's so many elements that a lot of people are not even really aware of, that that's what we're going to help you with, and me specifically on the IT front. So
now let me ask you, because in very simplistic terms, what you're saying is you can create where somebody can be on any of these platforms or the website, click a link, and again, through all the mechanisms of automation, money goes to Mike's bank account, right, and sunglasses get shipped to them. I mean, bottom line.
Bottom line.
Simply put.
And Darnell can have them keep making sunglasses. Sandra can keep Mike on social media.
Absolutely.
And Mike keeps getting paid. I mean, that's right. And that's the beauty of developing a product, folks. See, most people think of starting a service business. once you get the machine developed, you don't hear me. Once the machine, money just keeps. It's almost like having a printing press. As long as the consumer keeps buying it and they keep making it.
As long as there's a demand, and to everyone's point, I mean, look at the value propositions, right? I mean, the value propositions from the financier to the marketing expert to the IT expert, and then from the design and manufacturing perspective and collateral. I mean, look at all these collaterals. Look at all these propositions that are all in a consortium, a platform already prearranged. All we need is the client with an idea, with a dream. And then we're going to fulfill and deliver based upon each of these value propositions that are in a dynamic consortium that delivers an incredible product for a client that can have a successful business.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well said. Milt, if you go to the next slide, and then we'll see who we have that we can answer questions for. I just want to summarize what it is that we do here at the Private Money Syndicate, the Private Money Advisors. We're looking for other people who want to be like Mike. Don't you want to be like Mike? Don't you want to be like Mike?
I want to be like Mike.
Now, I really want this to be crystal clear in your mind. He started with $1,000 he invested to get his credit right. And after that, he got the funding and support from the lady and gentleman that you see right here to take his dream and to turn it into a successful online business that made a profit. See, as I said, often we limit ourselves by what we have, not realizing there's abundance in this universe, and all you got to do is connect with the source, okay? Yes. And we tell you every single Saturday, we're telling you we're looking for dreamers. And when we start and launch our 10,000 Dreams Challenge, we are calling for dreams because there are billions of dollars out here looking for dreams that they can take to the marketplace.
Billions.
Yes. Often we talk about real estate. Real estate is really simple, but business is once you get that machine, once you get that printing press going, baby, it's it's just like that. And Darnell loves manufacturing. Versandra loves social media.
Love it.
Loves technology. I love finance. We love you if you got a dream. So,
okay. I love that.
It's all love. It's all love.
Yes. Go to the last slide there, Milt, and then we'll kind of engage the audience. So it says all you need to do is this. One simple step, go to www.privatemoneysyndicate.com/schedule, all right, to get started and see the bottom line and have your dream powered by private money. All right. That's what we've been asking for. And we beg you, beseech you to please tell us don't think it's silly. Don't think that you don't have it in place. This is what we do. We solve every impediment that facilitate and catapult and accelerate people to the marketplace. Nowhere else have I seen, and anybody's welcome to challenge me, where anybody else does this. You can go to the SBA and they'll tell you how to do a business plan, but they ain't gonna get you the money. If you could go to the bank and go get funded, they're gonna ask you the business plan and stuff. All that's like ingredients to make a cake, okay? You still got to get the mixing bowl, the mixer, and all this other. But we bring the whole package, everything. And I feel so blessed to be working with and this is the entire team. We got JD, we've got Daniel Winton, we've got, hey, you need to get a patent. We've got Toussaint Myrick, a patent attorney. We got we have all these other graphic designers here, broadcast media, doc, whatever else we need to bring into coalition. But these four legs of the stool that you're looking at right here are the base platform for developing this business to get you into the marketplace. So I'm really excited for each and every one of you who see this now, and for those who will see it later on Facebook and on YouTube, because we brought you the answers to every problem that's kept you from living your dreams. As we close out 2021, all I'm saying is, man, this should be the beginning of creating not only millionaires, Darnell, Versandra, Milt, but billionaires. You need to be dreaming of billions, okay? Because Private Money Syndicate advisors are here to power your dreams to our private money. So, Milt, let us know who we got out there watching. If anybody has any questions, we can address, and then we'll let the forum address those as appropriate.
Okay, yeah. So we got Bobby Jean Ford joining us. She says, good morning, everyone. Alfreda Gibson is joining us, says good morning. Let's see. We got Horace Solomon joining us, says good morning, classmate.
Hey there, Horace.
We got Ebony joining us again this morning, says good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. And they're putting their emails in there, so we'll make sure we check that after the show and get those and get that slideshow out to you guys. Satish VM Satman is joining us. He says, good morning, y'all. Michelle Antoinette Powell Howard is joining us. She put her email out there.
Thank you.
Ebony says, this is good. I'm enjoying learning how this process works. She says she wants to work with us. She says the winning team. So, definitely.
Yes.
That's all we got for right now. But
all right, fantastic. Well, I want to come back to Milt for a second because, we went through, and I don't know everybody came in and watched the show, but we put up, that basically $80,000 of capital was invested into the business to launch the business. And so this was money that was borrowed on a credit line. But a large part of that was the $10,000 for the web. It says e-commerce, but now Milt, in addition to developing the website, talk just a moment about some of the other services that go into making this an ongoing, active part of the business infrastructure. If you could give a quick insight onto that, because this is really where the business lives after the product is developed and after the marketing, starts creating demand.
Right. So there's a few key things that you have to invest in anytime you're starting out your business and starting out an e-commerce website. A couple of those things is, of course, you got to have your domain, right? And part of the development of your brand, again, as we're collaborating with all of these things, we'll be coming up and developing all of this for you. And part of that is getting your domain, right? And once you own your domain, then you can start thinking about and hosting your website, right? But not only that, then you move into a basic IT infrastructure for your business, which includes your own business email, right? As well as other things that will be set up for you in order to keep your business information secure, right? Because that's what it's all about in today's day and age. You want to have a secure IT infrastructure so that you can collaborate and communicate securely all over the world, right? Because you're gonna be talking to people all over the world. You're gonna be making these deals. You're gonna be, going to these meetings with these people. Who knows? You might be in talks with Ralph Lauren about them buying your sunglass design, right? And so
exactly right.
When you have all these things in place and you're thinking about it from that standpoint, these are some of the fundamental building blocks to starting your IT infrastructure, right? And not only that, but as your IT department, right? We're going to help you secure your devices. We're going to make sure that your websites are secure. We're going to make sure that your emails are secure. We're going to make sure that the whole process is secure from a cybersecurity standpoint. And all of this is happening within that 1 year, right? And it's part of the ongoing process and cost of running a business, right? So this is going to be, some of these are yearly, expenses that you would, for lack of a better way of putting it, you'll probably be writing off on your on your taxes. But these are some of the things that you're going to actually have, in place, for that year, for that first year. That once you come back around on the other side, you're actually going to be in a very good position, because you'll see the return on your investment, right? As what Darnell was talking about earlier. You'll see that return on your investment, and then you'll feel a lot more comfortable. And when you start adding people and you start, bringing in more people to run different parts of your business, if that's your goal, maybe you just want it to be automated process like what Versandra was talking about, and just make money in your sleep and just set it and forget it, and that's fine too. But if you do plan on scaling and actually we're going to make sure that your foundation is set so that can happen in a very secure way. So
awesome. Yeah. And a comment that Milt made, now remember, and I can't overemphasize this because I don't think people get it. This guy started with $1,000, got control of $100,000, and all he had to do was pay $2,000 a month. Now, if you were able to save, and most people can't save $1,000 a month. If you were to save towards your goal to get $100,000 so you can launch your business, that's 100 months. That's 8 years. And here in 2 months, we're able to get his credit right, and it's just like that. So please don't call us. That's all you need to schedule a consultation. Right. Okay, if you don't understand it, just feel, if you don't understand me, do you feel me? Okay, that's what I need you to do. But now I want to go to Versandra, and let's talk briefly about this social media influencer. Now, you could probably describe better than anybody how somebody can go from zero to hero, I guess is the best way to put it, but basically how with the right strategies and techniques, they can actually be this 100,000 follower person who people are clamoring to get their stuff. Now, what's some of the magic that you can bring to people's ideas to make that happen?
Absolutely, Tony. Well, the first thing is you got to understand that social media is social. So the person that's just out there broadcasting, which typically most people on social media are doing, they are not going to have the type of, I guess, reach that they're looking to have because all they're doing is broadcasting. There's a place for broadcasting, but it's not in social media if you are looking to engage and build relationships. But that person that is really looking to be an influencer is one that, first of all, they are constantly online. I don't care where they are using this platform. They are engaging other people. So those dyadic ties come into play. So they, let's say, for instance, they decide they want to go out to a festival. If you want to be around 1,000 or 1,000,000 people out doing something fun, you might want to go out to a summer festival. So you head out to the festival and you invite your gang, your team, and all of your team are coming together and everybody's in their shades doing their thing and looking good. Well, they all have purposes and visions and passions too. So you want to hang out with people who have a similar mission to yours and that they are seeking to reach a customer base in a way that you are looking to do as well. And what that means is you don't want to hang out with people that only have 100 friends or 100 likes on their page. If you want to be an influencer, you hang out with other influencers, and those other influencers you tie on into what they're doing and vice versa. But then you engage by looking at the posts that come through. So what I find from social media influencers, they're reaching out to me constantly. I get inboxes all the time because they see what I'm doing and they want to tie in to what I'm doing. But I'm looking at what is your background. I'm looking at, what is your integrity level? Because I don't just want to hang out with people just to say I'm important or I have a lot of likes or and things on Facebook or on any social media platform. I want to be tied to an organization or a group or another influencer that has a heart type focus, because my work is, is kind of heart based. And so you want to know who those people that you're engaging with, what they're all about and what they're looking to accomplish. Now, I can tell you that those influencers that have a whole bunch of likes, but they do not necessarily have products, all they're doing is being a model. Okay. It's one thing, you can be a Kim Kardashian and just, oh, I look beautiful, and you put on and strike a pose all day long. But if you do not have a product tied on to it, it is not making you money just to look good. So that's important to know. And I'm telling you, there are plenty of people out there and they look good, but they're broke as I don't know what, because they never ever tied a product to that looking good, and they just never understood how that works together.
Exactly.
So that's important.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, because it's a good opportunity to swing it back to Darnell one last time, because most people don't understand that they can have their own custom designed anything. Now we're talking about Mike and the sunglasses, and I guess we'll keep it there. But to talk to people about the fact that if somebody comes to you with their dream, that you have your history and your background that can actually crystallize that in a very concise through a very scientific process. You talked about it, but actually design it to where there is demand in the marketplace because you've looked at what people are already buying and paying a certain price point for, and you fall into that zone. I mean, there's a lot of expertise and talent, and across the board with Milt and Versandra, our knowledge is here just looking for the right idea to just pour gasoline onto. So Darnell, if you would, just help people to get some confidence that if they come to us, that this is going to happen, this can happen for them. Are you muted, Darnell?
You muted, Darnell.
Pardon me, I'm sorry. Okay, all right. So I was going to say, Tony, Versandra brought about some brilliant, candid points in reference to the worth of what people appear to be like on social media. Because to her point, selfies are not going to get you paid, right? You have to have a physical product. And what I bring to the table, if I can say this without it seeming like a backhanded compliment, is to allow Mike or any other clients to have an identity associated with their brand, right? Identity creates a collateralized worth. Like I was saying in the last podcast, creating this intrinsic, inherent worth of a lifestyle brand that has an identity, that has its own signature, and has its own purpose. Now, then when you have identity, signature, and purpose all wrapped up, synchronized in an intrinsic, inherent worth attached to influencers, real influencers that are going to drive traffic to the site that Milt will build, and then the financing that will allow all this process to happen through you, Tony. So it's creating a powerful identity to the brand. If you look at any of the successful brands out there, they have an identity. Then they have a signature. Then they have a purpose. Then that is an absolute magnetic attraction to the avatar of that brand. So that's going to flow to a bottom line of the worth of it being viral and blowing up. So identity, signature, and purpose creates an intrinsic value and worth for that brand, and it being a lifestyle brand, which is key.
Fantastic. Well, the last thing I want to share with everybody is, we gave this case study for our client, Mike, and you might think that $76,000 is a nice profit, but all I want you to understand is multiply that times, that was 2,000 units sold. That's not much. But see, he chose the right product. That was part of the consultation too, a high margin product. A lot of people want to start restaurants. Restaurants are low margin, high risk, but everybody wants to start one. I love to eat too.
Yeah.
But now other things, jewelry, fragrances, sunglasses, apparel, a lot of these things are high margin, and creating even larger margin by creating all the value proposition around with the brand, as Darnell and as Versandra discussed, is part of the ideation and the technology that we're able to bring in support of our clients. So let's multiply that times 10 to 760,000, or maybe multiply it by 100 to 7.6 million. Again, once the system is built and put in place, the rest of it is marketing, production, and distribution. Once you lay the railroad and put the train on it, you carry as much freight as you want to. And we're looking for you to let us do this because we can. If you have a dream, we want to power it. Okay. So I want to ask the maestro if we got any other folks out there that we want to say hello to before we say goodbye. But, I want to say this now. I appreciate every one of you. We're going to be launching our 10,000 Dreams Challenge at the end of September. We're in September now. So you guys need to make sure you like, follow, and share us on Facebook, and go subscribe to the Private Money Godfather channel on YouTube, because that's going to be required for you to be in for all the goodies we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks for those who take the challenge and share with us their 10,000 dreams so that they can be like Mike. So with that, I want to say, if you're going to go into business and stay in business, you got to mind your business. I thank my panel of experts, the Duke, the Queen, the Maestro, and Maestro, you see, speak to anybody on the way out, and I'll let you take something.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Thank you for your support as always. Thank you. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.